Today is a great day to start practicing that whole concept of non-attachment. Starting right here, right now, we practice it ideally every day, in every moment of every day, as we practice non-judgment, non-attachment as our life being. With COVID, with the political scene, with what's happening with the stuff that's coming up inside of ourselves and all that stuff, those practices might not have been quite as effortless as they might have been in times when you're on a beach in Bali, but that's what we do. I mean, these are the hills we climb. I know, I don't know, I woke up feeling a ton of energy, and it was like, okay, wow. So I hit my meditation chair early and just sat there and felt and leaned in and digested as much energy as I possibly could in the period of time that I was there. And then went into my room, and this book just jumped off my bookshelf. And I don't go to books very often. I do like them. I'm not a big reader, as you know. And these are things that I would say, but sometimes it's helpful just to have somebody else that looks like that say them. I mean, I don't think it has to do with anybody yet, but you know what I'm saying. So the page I turned to, which just jumped out at me, which is called Suffering, it's all due to delusion. And I just go, okay, clearly I need to read these pages. I'm not going to read them all to you, but I will read some. So get comfortable, breathe in, and then we're going to go right into meditation after this. So go ahead and let the words wash through you, or just ignore them, whatever is going to work for you. But feel the vibration of our community. Feel the vibration of us coming together, consciously committing to our own wholeness, consciously committing to just wholeness in general. That place of non-judgment, that place of how can I be truly, truly able to not judge and digest and be present with whatever is going on around me. So this is the Swami talking. Realize the real self. It is all that is necessary. There never was and never will be a time when all are equally happy or rich or wise or healthy. In fact, none of these terms has any meaning except insofar as the opposite to it exists. But that does not mean that when you come across anyone who is less happy or more miserable than yourself, you are not to be moved to compassion or to seek to relieve him as best you can. On the contrary, you must love all and help all, since only in that way can we help ourselves. When you reduce the suffering of any fellow person, I'm changing the pronouns if you don't mind, or fellow creature, whether your efforts succeed or not, you are yourself evolving spiritually, especially if such service is rendered disinterestedly, not with the egoistic feeling of, I am doing this, but in the spirit, quote, God is making me the channel of this service. It is the doer and I am the instrument. I'm going to skip a little bit to here. The world is not external. Because you identify yourself wrongly with the body and you see the world outside and its pain becomes apparent to you. But they are not real. Seek the reality and get rid of this unreal feeling. What is called the world is nothing but thought. And when the world disappears, that is, when there is no thought, the mind experiences bliss when the world appears. And when the world appears, it experiences misery. There's only one way to escape from the miseries of the world, and that consists in not losing sight of oneself, capital S self, under any circumstance. To inquire, who am I, is the only remedy for all the ills of the world. It is also perfect bliss. So sit there, close your eyes. And I believe that when the Swami is talking about letting the mind go, he's really referring to judgments. The way we frame, the way we put things into a category. Can I take my fears, my worries, my concerns, my need to help others? And yes, we can address those outside of ourselves, but how can I address those inside of myself? What scares me? What am I really worried about? What agitates me? What causes me to take a side? What causes me to forget the perfection of my own unique essence and the perfection of all the essences in this perfect creation? Can I return to that place of my perfect essence? Can I return to that place inside of myself and remember who I really am? And remember that no matter what happens around me, no matter what it looks like, no matter what perceptions I have or opinions I have, or what, quote, realities I seem to latch onto, that inside of me, that place, there is a place inside of me that is untouchable, unmiserable, that is pure connection, that is pure source, that knows all is well in my world. Who am I? Now start to breathe into that place, wherever it is, any place inside of you that's accessible right now. And allow your breath to nourish and pull forth, bring forth that space, the space of possibility, that you're bigger than the world, that you are creator of this entire world, that this is just some experiment, and you're seeing how it's playing out. And with that remembrance, keep that breath going. And with that remembrance and the breath, come back to your physical being. Your personality. Remember, you have both, which is really groovy. And now, from that place of your own physical being, your personage, who's running the country of you? What are you afraid of? What parts of you are starving? What parts of you are stuffed? Where have you been putting your resources? What has been monopolizing your attention? And is that where you want to invest your resources? Take a scan through your country. From your head to your toes, or your toes to your head. From your emotions to your mind, to your vibration to your physical body. And what parts of your country have not been receiving adequate resources to thrive? What parts of your country have been monopolizing your prana, your energy, your resources? And if there's parts of it inside that feel afraid or agitated, what can you do in your own country to quell that fear, to soothe that agitation, to nourish the parts of you that are starving? Breathe deep into those areas. have relationship with those areas. Acknowledge that you were not paying attention to the wholeness of you. It's okay. Now, from that place of being able to take care of your own country, what resources would you give your own fears from yourself? Not from somebody doing something or fixing it for you, or to have a set of circumstances happen for you. What can you do for your own country right here, right now, today? And when in doubt, just love yourself a little more. When in doubt, sit with those parts of you that have been neglected. Acknowledge them, hold them, hug them, nourish them. Just your attention is nourishing. And when you feel your country coming together as wholeness, what would it feel like if your country of you came together as wholeness? Just imagine what that would feel like. And from there, can you feel that your wholeness is a piece of wholeness, a piece of conscious wholeness in the whole fabric of this physical creation? And by you holding wholeness, you are contributing to wholeness. And from that place of wholeness, maybe your prayer is for wholeness. As you release the attachment to what your personality thinks that would look like. Let's go ahead and chant Om together. 3 times, follow with the invocation, which means I open myself up to receive the teachings. The light of self-knowledge inside of me. Again, feel free to chant along with me or just let the Sanskrit wash through you. Just allow this vibration to open ourselves to more wholeness within and without. Exhale all the air out. Inhale, feel, hear that silent Om. Om. Ganesha Graha Nakshatra Yogini Rashi Rupani Devi Mantramayim Nami Matrika Pita Rupani Ganesha Graha Nakshatra Yogini Rashi Rupani Devi Mantramayim Nami Matrika Pita Rupani Ganesha Graha Nakshatra Yogini Rashi Rupani Devi Mantramayim Nami Matrika Pita Rupani. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in. Exhale, release chin to chest. If you like, flutter your eyes open. Thanks, everyone. Let's go ahead and get a blanket and start standing. I brought in the skeleton today because bones, one of the Sanskrit words for stira, the root of stira is stir, and that's another way it translates into bone. So that which keeps us steady. So I brought in a skeleton to give us that feeling of steadiness. So if you feel like you're lacking steadiness at any time, just feel the skeleton here, skelly, and you can't see that I'm petting its head, but feel the bones, just like you're petting the bones outside, and feel that stira for yourself inside. Now, to test some of that stira, we have things like elections and COVID and all sorts of other fun physical attributes that we can play with. So go ahead and take your blanket, fold it so the loose end, so it's not your folded neat end, but the loose end is out towards the toes. Stand on it. If you don't have a blanket, just use a rug or a towel, anything you want to. Now we're just going to scrunch. So I'm going to scrunch this blanket in. So I'm going to scrunch the blanket in. So if these are my feet, I'm going to scrunch in. My fingers are now my toes. Scrunch in, and then use my toes to scrunch the blanket out. We call this scrunchasana. So I'm going to scrunch it in with my toes, and then scrunch it out, warming up the feet. Scrunchasana, feel it scrunch it in. And if your blanket doesn't move a lot, that's okay. It's the action that really matters. So it's not necessarily about the result as a part of the big teaching today. It's not about the result so much. It's about the action. And how can I stay centered? How can I stay true no matter what happens around me? We do our part. We do what we're called to do. We do it. And at some point, just like a performance, just scrunching on in and scrunching out, yeah? Keep going. We're doing it quite a bit. At some point, we practice and we practice and we practice, and then we have a performance. And we can look at today, election day, as one of those performances. We've done, some people are still working, doing what they can do to get whatever result they are looking to get. But at some point, we have no control over that. All we can do is feel that sense inside of myself that will not be shaken, that will be steady no matter what happens, knowing I will be okay. Why? Because you're inherently okay. And everything will be okay. Because why? Because it's inherently okay. At times we forget that. It's hard to believe that. All right, enough scrunching. Yay, feel that great. Love that. And now, go up to your tippy toe. We're gonna just roll the toe bones, ankle bones. This is where we can get into the talus, and then up into the lower leg, into the knee, the tibia and fibula, then the thigh bone, the hips, and then roll it the other direction, starting with the toe bones, getting into the ankle bones. There's a lot of them in there. And then the shin bones, knee, thigh bone, and then the space in your hip. And then just shaking that leg out. Shake it around. It's like you're flicking a booger off your toe. Shake it all the way around. And now we're going to add the sound, if you can and want to, and please do. And stand. You can actually get really even loud. Let it go. Any of that stuff that's in there, just stand, shake it out. And then take a moment. It's okay to let it go. Animals do it all the time in nature. They do the fight, fright, when they freeze, then they get up and they shake out that adrenaline. It helps them digest it and process it. We're animals also. Come up to your other side. Roll the toe bones, just the foot bones, and now your ankle bones. That's where your talus lives. And then your shin bones, tibia and fibula, knee, thigh bone, and then that thigh bone is rolling in your hip socket, then rotate it the other direction. Got the nice soft blanket. Toes, ankle, can you feel that movement of the talus? Shin bones, knee, thigh bone, Then it's in your hip socket. And now add sound as soon as you can, as you flick that foot all the way around, using that sound to connect the fascial planes all the way up to the base of your tongue. And then if you feel like you don't want to make different sounds, like whatever you want to do, then shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, and then just shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Really feel your voice, hear your voice, be your voice. It's your voice. What are you saying to yourself? Those things we're preaching to each other. What are you telling yourself? Why do we have to scream so loud? We're listening to ourselves. Those things we want to say out loud so much. We are trying to get our own attention. Stand and hear yourself. Hear your heartbeat. Hear your voice. Now inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, soften, sink to chair pose. Inhale, back up. Exhale, clasp the hands behind the back. Inhale, open the collarbones. Exhale, come forward. Release the arms down. Inhale, come up to chair. Soften shoulders, sink hips. Inhale, up. Float the arms down. Take a moment, remove your blanket. Stand and feel your bones. Feel your new relationship with the floor through the bones, that steadiness. And as you inhale, feel your bones breathe in space. Your arms float up. Exhale, feel that stira, that center right deep into your core, your bones. Inhale up. Exhale, float the hands back behind you, clasp hands. Inhale, open the collarbones. Exhale, cascade forward. Release the arms down. Inhale, come up to chair. Soften shoulders, sink hips. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, float the arms down. Take a moment. Feel not only the hard parts of your bones, the outside, go deeper into your bone marrow. You've got fat cells in there, that pump out nourishment. It's very vascular and blood. White blood cells, red blood cells. Feel the blood of your bones. Feel that your bones are these alive, steady, vibrant, really not hard, brittle things at all, like these fake skeletons, but really vibrant pieces inside of yourself. So your steadiness isn't one of complacency. Your steadiness is one of blood, of immune system, of responsiveness, of nourishment. Inhale, float the arms up, feel those bones. Exhale, soften shoulders, sink hips to chair. Really allow yourself to feel supported by your innate bones. Inhale up, float the arms down, clasp hands up behind, open the collarbones. Exhale, cascade forward. Release the arms down. Inhale, come up to chair. Exhale, arms into cactus pose. Inhale, arms up, feel that release through the bones. Exhale. So I'm really not being very muscular right now. I'm going to my deeper sense of support, my deeper sense of alignment as I'm moving my arms in and out of cactus pose. My deeper sense of steadiness. One more time to cactus pose. And then inhale, bring your elbows and hands together. Exhale. Inhale, lift your elbows, keep your hands together and elbows together. You may only be able to lift about an inch. Release. Can I feel myself breathe into the place behind my heart, behind my shoulder blades? One more breath in, and then exhale, round that upper back as I bring my elbows in towards the body, really opening up the back of my heart here. Breathe in. Exhale, putting more space in there. One more time, breathe in. Exhale. And now inhale, arms all the way up. Float the arms down. Take a moment to stand, close eyes, and feel. Make the legs wide-ish. Rotate your right foot out, left foot in, L's in the hip creases. Again, find that place. We've been talking about pelvic halves, feet, and all that. Can I feel my leg bones, my thigh bones moving through my knee? There's this big space in there, into my shin bones, so my tibias go right into the talus, right into the heel, spreading that weight through the foundation of my foot. Inhale. Exhale, bend that front leg. Inhale up, and then exhale, slide and glide. I'm going to repeat that a bunch more times. Bend. And now, can you feel what part of you, where are you putting your resources? Can I feel myself as a whole country? If I have an ache or a pain, am I giving that all my attention? And if I am giving that all my attention, is that really serving that area? And if I'm giving that area all my attention, what else has had to not get attention? So can I give that one area of my being attention, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, and then also give something else attention? So what's happening in your left elbow? What's happening in your left collarbone? Or pick other random things. What about your left ear or your right ear? Or your back teeth? How can I model the best president I can be? One more breath in. Release, walk the feet together, stand, close eyes, and just feel your country. Can you appreciate all the citizens of your country? Which means loving and embracing even the parts of yourself that maybe you don't want to admit that you have, maybe that you have judgments about, that you don't like so well. Can you find a way to love them? Can you find a way to welcome them into the country of you right here, right now? You don't have to do it forever. What about right now? What if we did it right now? Take the legs wide again. Rotate left foot out, right foot in. Again, feeling that those thigh bones moving all the way down into your tibias, your shin bones, fibulas on the outside, going through the talus, calcaneus, spreading through the feet. Inhale. Exhale, bend that front leg. Inhale up. Exhale, slide and glide. Inhale up. Bend. Notice, where do your resources go immediately? Is it a habit or is it a necessity? Is it because that's where they've always gone? Or is there a new place I can redistribute my resources? What am I funding? One way to see, if you don't know what I'm funding, one way to see is, what are you thinking about? Because you're funding that heavily. So whatever you're thinking about is getting a lot of your resources. And is it just like a money pit? As you think about those things, it's just like going down a money pit, or is it actually doing something? One more. Feel your country. One more triangle. And come up. Slowly walk your feet together. Stand, close eyes, take a moment and feel your country. Can you love more of your country? Can you get to know more of your country? If you need a block, great. Some of you will, some of you won't. Place it between your legs. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, you're going to bend that front leg. So as we talked about, I said I wasn't going to talk about the talus, but clearly I am. So feel that fibula roll forward, and the talus slides back. And then as you come forward, you're going to feel that fibula roll back to allow the talus to slide forward. So the talus is moving front and back in your foot, right? And if that's just, I missed all the talus work, don't worry about it. It's just out there, your talus heard it anyway. Inhale, exhale, bend. Feel that talus slide back, your right leg is bending, and then inhale, come up, talus slides forward. Exhale, now slide the left talus back. Notice how that changes your angle. Inhale, back up. The talus sits right above your heel bone, right below your shin bone. So it's that keystone bone that brings your leg bone to your foot. Really key for how that weight is transferring to the bones. Really key for how steady I can be. Because if the weight is moving through my bones, which are designed to take the weight of gravity, then I'm steadier and I don't have to bring in other less efficient or less qualified resources to help me in my steadiness. One more time now. Exhale, bend that right leg. You can take your left hand to the block or the floor, and then inhale, bring up your right arm. If that's too much for your shoulder, just keep your hand on your hip or just drop it down anywhere else. And now breathe in to your country, and then exhale, send those resources through parts known and unknown. Just decide that for right now, you're going to serve your entire country with your breath. So inhale, feel that moving all the way down into the pelvic floor, and then exhale, allow the resources to distribute where they need to go. Maybe not where you think they need to go, but where does prana know they need to go? One more breath in. Exhale, rotate your hand to face away from your face, bend your elbow, slide it down your back, let your neck relax down if it's okay for your neck. Only you know. For those of you who would like a little bit more, practice on getting that weight through the bones, and you have the capacity to do so, you can lift your left arm off that block straight in front of you, as if you're going to lay your left ear onto your left bicep. One more breath here. Exhale, release your arm down. Inhale, bring your body up, facing the side wall, and then exhale, rotate yourself around to the front. Woo! Walk your feet together. Take a moment and experience your country. How's it doing? Are there more parts of you to love? Are there more parts of you receiving your love? Take the legs once again wide. This time we'll take arms windmilling as we bend. Inhale, exhale, bend the left leg. You can take your hand to the block or your floor. Inhale, back up. And then exhale. Again, finding that talus, sliding the talus back and forth. Back as the leg bends. It comes forward as the leg straightens. Does that allow you a little bit different relationship to your range of motion or something else? And then you can move your resources anywhere else. We're going to take one more windmill. The next time, your right hand is down. Stay there. Breathe into your pelvic floor. All the way. Let those resources move all the way through your body. I'm just going to name some places in your country. Your bones, your blood, serving your fat, very nourishing, very vascular. Your lymph, keeping us healthy. Your nerves, how can we keep them not so frayed, keep them more calm? Organs, keep us that sense of self, keep our unit working well. Inhale, come on up. Oops, wait, turn your head, bend the elbow, drop your head back down. Release your neck a little bit. Can you feel the organs support you as you might lift that arm up? Or maybe it's your lymph, or maybe it's your blood, or maybe it's your nerves. Does it have to be your muscles? Maybe that's the best one for you though. Maybe it's your bones. Release your arms down. Inhale, come up. Unravel yourself as you exhale. Walk the feet together. Stand, close eyes. Take a moment and feel. Great, let's go to the ground. We're going to do a few things. I want to give us plenty of time for a really awesome closing meditation. So yeah, with our back to the floor. So laying on our backs, lay with your back to the floor. Hug knees into the chest. Take a moment, breathe into your lower back. All the way down. Feel the front of your sacrum coated with breath. Lengthening. Remember, the rectum lays on the sacrum. Uterus, if you have one, lays on the rectum. Bladder lays on your uterus. Pubic bone on top of that. Feet flat on the floor. Feel that weight moving through the bones of the body. Inhale. Exhale. Release your pelvic, your sacrum down and lift the tailbone up just a little bit to lengthen the lower back, and then inhale. So I'm feeling the weight of gravity through my bones as I exhale, sending that weight from my sacrum, tailbone, into my legs, down into my feet. And inhale back down. Exhale again. Inhale back down. Couple more, just going up higher and higher as it feels appropriate to you. Take as many as you want to, and when you reach the height that you want to stay at in your bridge, stay there. And can you find that place of connection? The blood, the bone marrow in my bones, vibrating with life force. Vibrating from a fearless point of view. And then the outer coating of the bones, really welcoming the weight of gravity. You can walk your your upper arms together if you like. Can I feel my spine floating between my four limbs? 5 if you count my head. Can I feel the bones giving me that place of spring, of support, of lightness, of steadiness? One thing about the bones is they don't judge. They just take the weight. They're not saying, oh, I don't want to take it from there. That's their job. They love doing what they're here to do. And release and come down. Take a moment. I'm going to roll my head from side to side because just softening the brain a little bit. Knees in. Cross your right leg over or through the whole pose. If that's too intense, foot flat on the floor. Breathing all the way down into that pelvic floor. And just notice what parts of your country are loud right now. What parts of your country might be rioting. And how are you going to handle that? Also knowing that you have a whole country to govern. Now can I use the breath to nourish my whole country? One more. And release and come down. Take a moment. And cross your other leg over and bring it in for through the whole pose. As we practice yoga asana, it's a metaphor, not even a metaphor. It's another way life plays out as we move from symmetry to asymmetry. And we have sometimes this illusion of symmetry, like one side's going to feel like the other. That's just an example of how things are not equal, maybe not fair, and maybe they just won't be. And maybe that place of inequality lies because I'm still not able to love all parts of myself. I'm still not able to embrace all parts of myself. How can I demand that my external world be fair when in myself I only have a limited view of what that even is? Because I don't know my whole country yet. And I'm not even able to give that the governance that I think I'd like to see around me. So am I asking the world to do my work for me? And how can I love myself where I am right here, right now? No, I'm doing the best I can do in every moment. Every moment I'm doing my best, because why would you not be doing your best? How can you not do your best? Keep another couple of breaths here. Each breath loving more and more of your country, more and more of yourself. And release. Take your soles of your feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana, or lay into we're going to do a mini Shavasana here. Place your hands on your belly or somewhere else. Place your hands somewhere on your country. And just acknowledge the sensation of breath, resources, where your hands are. Could you allow those resources to flow through you without condition? Like if I put my hands here, you're going to feel better or you're going to change. Can I just put my hands here and let my resources, my limitless resources flow? Go ahead and put your hands, keep them there if you want to. Place them somewhere else on your country. And the resources flow. And stay there, or place your hands somewhere else on your country. And now just take a moment in Shavasana, whatever Shavasana, your position you're going to be using today, and just be the country that you are. And just feel, have some sensation about you right here, right now, not trying to fix or change yourself. Who am I? Move in the microphone. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in and release. You can gently wiggle your fingers and toes a little bit to find the edges. Your brand new physical, mental, emotional, vibrational country. If you just gently roll your head from side to side, feeling your brain soften. And eventually make your way up to a comfortable seated position for a little pranayama and meditation. So as we're all settling in, just take a scan of your country and just notice when in, quote, crisis or stress, what emotional or vibrational state is the default of your particular country? Is it one of distraction, restlessness, misunderstanding? If that would be the case for you, and I will go through these more than once, then remember the color of violet. If it is self-destructive habits, actions out in the world that you're not proud of, then remember the color gold. If it's apathy, depression, lack of will, indifference, then remember the color dark fiery red. If it's hatred, rage, then remember the color blue. If you default to sickness, physical sickness or disease, just general stressiness, then remember the color of rose. These are all ways we deal with fear. So I'll go through them one more time. So distraction, misinterpretation of what people say or do, restlessness, violet. Destructive habits, actions that you're not proud of, gold. Laziness, lack of will, depression, indifference, apathy, dark fiery red. Hate or rage, blue. Sickness, disease, or just general stressiness that you take it in the body, rose. If you can't remember any of them, just pick a color you like. And if none of those colors resonate, that's fine. Now go to the heart and fill your heart with the color of your choice for today. And really fill it full, whether it's violet, gold, dark fiery red, blue, rose, something else. Maybe you're picking a different color altogether. But fill it with so much of that light that no matter what comes into it, it will transform, transmute that energy. So we take care of this hum or buzz in our country. Fill it with the resources of that color right now. And now move to the abdomen. And begin to feel that feeling that you feel when you interpret things as not being well in my world. It can be, again, restlessness, destructive habits, apathy, depression, hate, rage, sickness, stressiness in the body. Feel that feeling, really bring it all as much as you can possibly muster. Pull it from those places in your country that may not even know they have it. Bring as much of it in as you possibly can. Really feel it. Jen, that might be gold. And now inhale, bring that feeling, all of it into your heart, where that color, and take that heart, put that color around it, fill that emotion with it, hold it in your heart. And then as you exhale, feel that color with that color bubble, holding that energy, that negative energy, go out the top of your head. Again, go back to the belly. Inhale, pull that emotion up into the heart. Hold it, feel that color, transmute, transform, or cover, hold it, collect it. And then as you exhale, that color bubble goes right out the top of the head. The heart will magically fill back up with more. If you need to take a break and fill it up, go ahead. And keep repeating this a few more times, feeling those things. Transmuting it in the heart, exhaling it out the top of the head. A couple more rounds. Do one final round for yourself. And feel breathing into the heart now. Allow that color to permeate all those nooks and crannies, all those empty spaces where that emotion, that negative emotion was living. Fill it with this new resource. Until you are glowing. You are radiance. You are that color. And it's okay if that color changes. Don't lock in. And now as you sit here radiating that color, feel that your radiance of this color is transformational. Without attachment, you just being you, your presence is enough. If you like, allow your thoughts to go out. Not your thoughts, allow your presence to go out bigger and bigger around you. Feel that sthira inside, that place where you're just being you. That's all you're doing. That's all you do. That's your job. Who am I? To be you. And as those waves of energy go out, know that everything that they're touching is being influenced, impacted, offered. And you are not in control of how that gift, how that presence is received. And as a result, you are not affected or hurt or disappointed. And if you are, we go, okay, I've got some more judgment work to do. Swaha. And that's good. That's good information. Take your moment. Feel your waves of energy. If it's depleting, then there's attachment. If it's just you being you, then it's nourishing. A couple more breaths here. Now deeply breathe in that nourishment. to remind yourself that you are the source of what you just did. You are the source of that nourishment. Take a breath in and take your arms. You can keep your eyes shut still. Rub your arms and just hug yourself. Really feel yourself acknowledging the light that you are. Just really love it. Love you. And then rub your head. Love your brain. Love those thoughts that got you here. Oh my goodness, without them, where would you be? You might not be here in class today, and that would be sad. Rub your face. Give yourself a little face massage. Back of your neck. Stroke your throat. Back down into your heart. Hold your heart. Feel that heart. Once again, rub your arms. This is me hugging you, you hugging me. Rub your breasts, your chest, your belly, your back, your legs, your feet, everything that you are. Thank you so much for being here today. We are who we are, and that's enough. We do what we do, and that's enough. All is well. The prayer is, how can I be a better president to my own country? And practice at home. Practice loving the country that you are. That's the loving kindness. And that starts, you are the drop that has infinite impact. You are the butterfly wings that can be felt across the globe. We read these things and say, oh, how cool is that? I believe it because we know it's true. But can we embody it? Can we really, really embody it and model it? And I'm not saying it's a thing of complacency and just saying, oh yeah, I don't care. It's a place of loving so much, and there's so much love inside that we have capacity then to do that, quote, right action, to do that action from that place of non-attachment, from that place of no expectations, just because it's the right thing in my country to do. And what's right for my country may not be right for someone else's. I love you all so much. Let's stay true today. Just keep committing. I just want to not leave. I just don't want to leave us right now. I don't know if you're feeling the same way, but I'm loving you all so much. Namaste.